Because really, as we brought on this tool, I've seen this tool evolve, and this person is the first one to say that it's a never-ending process when you dip your foot into this business. And he sort of evolved into really a technology company and a tool that other ISOs use, and he's tailored it just for us in our use and what we do, and it's expanding. It's expanding to the point that when we go over my pricing presentation tomorrow morning, I don't want to take your thunder, but we're going to be putting together some tools, people, through this company. And it's at our disposal. CoCard, we have it. You can use it. That's going to allow you to go into a merchant, take their statement, plug in a few things, bam, here's your savings. But anyways, I'm not going to take... Rick, come on up here and introduce your guys so we know who they are. They're going to do a deep dive this afternoon. I just wanted them to do an overview so you can see, if you want to go through that deep dive this afternoon, what you have at your disposal. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Rick Jernigan. Ricky Bobby. His real name is Ricky on your birth certificate, right?
Well, you can do that.
How much did he weigh, man? How much
Okay, so we got 30 minutes to cover a tool that we usually train over a couple of days. So we're going to just do a brief overview of the program. We've never done a 30-minute demo or overview before, so this is kind of winging it. Can you pull up Pegasus CRM?
It's working, I'm sorry.
Okay, so we're faster than the internet. All right, scroll down to the modules. Just scroll down and I'll tell you when to stop. Okay, you can stop. It's too big, but these are 20, these are all icons. Can you mouse over one of these for me? And behind each one of these, can you click on one?
Ticketing system.
All right. Yeah, so behind each one of these are like a 3-minute video that tells you a little bit about each module. So if you go on the website, you can learn about each one of the modules in an advertising type way. And then inside each one of those, did you log on to the? Yeah. So inside of Pegasus CRM, there's also a knowledge base, which has it has each one of these modules, so 28 modules, and it's got an in-depth video on the step-by-step on how to use each one of the modules, and it's got an accompanying printed or PDF manual that accompanies the videos. So what we don't cover today, you can cover in kind of a self-help way through the advertising and through the CRM, and then we're going to be doing a deep dive at 3 o'clock. Now, how many of you plan to be in here at 3 o'clock? All right, so we're not going to go to the beach early either. All right, Pegasus began about 16 years ago. I was using it to run my office, and I was down near Georgia Tech, and so I had some guys that were actually typing up MPAs, and they said, really? And so they figured out a way to put things into a database and to populate the PDFs from the database. And so that's when we began, and at the same time I had to do that. It was during the .com era, and so we had 3 of the top 10 websites on Yahoo, and this was before Google, so our phones were ringing 24/7 because it was in the .com era, and we had to keep a way to keep track of our leads. So we're going to go through it today, and the CoCard wanted to use something in 2014, and I really didn't want to redevelop mine. I hadn't rewritten the code in 13 years. We looked at a couple of other products for the industry, and there really wasn't anything that mine could already do. And we tried one product for about 6 months, and they could never quite get their mind around the residual aspect of CoCard. Because, as you guys know, we're all in the same business, but even within our same office, we don't pay our agents the same way. So it was a difficult proposition. They couldn't get it together and figure out the residual portion, so they asked me to rewrite the code, and I started rewriting the code. That took about a year, and we must actually still keep writing the code. So we've got 28 modules in it, and I'm going to turn it over to Howard, and he's going to tell you a little bit. Who's taking it first? Okay, Daryl's telling you first. All right, Daryl?
All right. Okay, Pegasus starts off, first of all, in where most of you usually start, and that's in your marketing effort. Okay, so the first thing that we have is a section for opportunities. Opportunities are unqualified prospects, mailing lists that you've acquired. You go to a show and people scan cards. You know, they're not really qualified, but they're just a base, a place for you to start. And Pegasus has the ability to both import those through CSV files. So if you have Excel, you can actually create a CSV file and import your opportunity into the system and give you a starting place for your marketing people to begin working. And you can also, of course, export those. The next section, or the next layer of that sales funnel, is leads. And these are what I would refer to as a more qualified prospect, one that you've talked to, one that you've got some information on, one that's demonstrated or expressed an area of interest. Opportunities can be moved to leads through the system, or you could import a lead directly using that same CSV file, or you can enter it directly. These leads could be from the opportunities that have been moved. They could be from a lead source, such as a partner agent, partner bank, a chamber of commerce, somebody that provides you with leads, or some marketing efforts where you've actually delivered some qualified prospects. Now, once a lead turns into an actual merchant that you're in a position to begin setting up for processing, that converts into a client. And a client can be simply a lead that has been moved to clients within the system, or for some reason it never actually was a lead. It was just like, yeah, I want to sign up, you know, let's get going, let's get rolling with it. So they become a client. All right. There are a number of different sections, as you saw within the modules that Rick was showing you just a bit earlier. And we've kind of taken some of these different sub-modules and put them under categories. For instance, in the sales section, there's a module for some real-time analytics. That's also an area where you can do lead and client management. There's an agent portal where an agent can see their residuals, an agent can set up ticketing and so forth. There's a partner portal where a partner can actually, such as a partner bank or partner agent, could send you a lead directly through that portal, and they can also view their residuals through that. The merchant portal is an area where the merchant is capable of actually creating a ticket. So instead of tying up your people on the phone, along some of these phone conversations get, they can actually just say, hey, I've got a problem with my POS, or I've got a circumstance with my batch, and they can actually send it to you directly through the merchant portal. There's email integration. Your emails, most of your emails categories or types can be actually integrated with Pegasus, such as Outlook and so forth, so that you can email and receive emails directly within Pegasus. There's voice over IP integration with ShoreTel, so that also logs calls, gives you reporting on calls. You have marketing operations that work through the telephone. It's a great resource. And leads integration, which we've addressed, of course, the lead section. And also there's a section for setting up various tasks and meetings. And all these are all part of the different sections within the sales section of Pegasus.
All right, so within the boarding module, we have built a PDF import wizard, similar to any fillable PDF, or it could be any flattened PDF that you have for marketing purposes, or if you want to kind of reuse some leasing information, you can actually import that into the system. You can package the PDFs up together, send it over to the merchant portal, and have the merchant just use the signature all together right there, which is leading to the merchant agreements. The liquid sign technology is an integration that is accepted by First Data, Transfers, Vantiv, all the major players. It's legal in all 50 states. It gathers a couple of different data points, little city location, IP address, and in a secure merchant portal environment. That's how we got through legal. A new integration is PDF Halo, and I'll go over that in just a few minutes. But just to touch on that is that you'll be able to input exactly like first data Omaha or transfers MPA. You'll be able to input it just like you would, and it'll insert right into the database. So there's no more going through tabs. So we're excited about that. We have tabs within the client's module. So we'll talk about that in a few. We have direct boarding into Vantive. Transfers, we hope to get that started relatively soon with the help of media. That's integrated in the system. We have dictionaries built, is basically naming conventions of all that's consistent with Omaha, NPA, North, priority, transfers, and we're also building TSIS as well. So, the other aspect of it, once a merchant is boarded, you have your maintenance and operations. This is one of those servicing aspects of it. So we have built in a ticketing system as well that some of the ISOs already use. It's basically the ability to kind of have an audit trail of each touch that needs to be made within your organization. So you can kind of set the rules up, and that's flexible as well. You have a merge and duplicate tool. Let's say that your marketing team needs to update your sales funnel, all the leads and clients in the system. There is a merge and duplicate checker just to make sure you don't have dual duplicates and two reps aren't working off different ones. The equipment management, we have a master equipment list that we built into the system. Essentially what you're able to do is keep track of equipment by MID. So that actually helps you, when a merchant calls in, you know exactly what they have. Product management, if you need a way to keep track of different products such as cash advance or some other gift card products, you can actually custom create those in our system. We have a corporate portal, which Jenny's very familiar with. Jenny, William, Barb, Leah. So they manage that, but that's available to the outside the CoCard world as well. We have a document manager. Basically, all the files that are uploaded into the system, you have the ability to kind of keep it all in one area rather than have it scattered on this local machine, this Google Drive, this Excel spreadsheet. You kind of, think of Pegasus as a data aggregator. Keeps everything in one nice place. We have an iframe. Iframe is essentially if you have like a website you want to kind of build into Pegasus to make it look like it's seamless, like a portal. You may have your own portal that you want to kind of show your reps. Your reps can actually click on the link inside the system and it shows like it would, like it's already integrated. Contacts, think of it like an address book. So you can keep all your vendors, your leads, your clients, your opportunities, so you can quickly search through them. It's kind of like a address book on steroids. Responsive theme, anybody who has an iPad, a Note or anything like that, iPhone 6, you can actually pull Pegasus up when you're right on your phone, and it looks really good. So you can actually use that. Customizable dashboards, that's pretty self-explanatory. You can, whatever you want to see as far as all clients with that's been updated, modified, it'll show who did it and the time they did it. So as a manager, you may want to kind of use that tool as well.
All right, and Pegasus also has a rather robust residual section in it. In the residual module, it allows you to track your merchant and tie them with your agent, your sales agent, your employee, your partner agent, your partner association by MID. And you can split amongst all four of those. Or if you have more than that, you can actually create a team and split even further. There's a residual adjustment tool, and this allows you to make adjustments to the residuals. For instance, you're going to do a spiff 1 month. You can add something to agents by merchant and by agent. Or if there's an expense that needs to be deducted, you can make that adjustment as well by agent or by a specific merchant. There's, of course, residual reporting. Various reports are available to you. It provides you a great deal of information about your residuals. And of course, this is by your processors. So your residual reporting is by processors. And and residual calculation can be performed by the MID, which I just recently addressed, but it also can be calculated by agent codes. So you can perform your residual calculations through either fashion or combinations of those. And again, as I mentioned, you can split it down to ridiculously small integrations by using the team concept.
So, what's the benefit of using Pegasus CRM? Well, we know that you're a collection of different ISOs, so you may use your kind of different tool that you're familiar with. You may use Excel sheets. You may not want to use a system, but just know that all CoCard offices already have a login, so it's free of charge to you for the first one. We built Pegasus with the idea that because of different business models, it's flexible enough to fit each individual one. Right? You can change the naming convention, the drop-down values, the pick list, so it's up to you. We have consistent naming conventions between processors. So if you click on the processor for First Data Omaha, it dynamically changes every single field for that client to First Data Omaha naming conventions. Same thing with transfers, Vantiv, TSYS, it doesn't matter. But since Lydia is going to help us with the transfers, we talked last night, and we've already built the hardest part of the dictionary, getting every single field from transfers into the system consistently, just like it's on the NPA. All-inclusive features, so you have everything with the login. There's no a la carte. We don't nickel and dime you for different modules. What you see is what you get. Obviously, any CRM is supposed to increase efficiency. Now, what I was saying earlier is that we found out some people like to kind of navigate off Excel spreadsheets, which is okay, but you can't really manage that once you start scaling. It's very hard to do that. So once you start with a system, that it can grow with you. And all your data is in one place. So think of it as a data warehouse as well. All data, all your documents, all your emails, all your contacts, kind of unify your whole organization. Now, like Rick said, and Dan, this is the never-ending story. So software, as you know, always gets updated or should get updated. And we have a couple new integrations coming up. PDF Halo. PDF Halo is the concept that we were trying to figure out how to get sales reps and users to use the system more, right? And what we found out is that users don't like change. They don't like anything new. So they're used to filling out the app itself, right? Paper app or, the MPA. So what we've done is that you can take any fillable PDF, map it in the system. It looks just like the original one. You hit submit, and it goes to all the correct data fields in the system. So there's two ways to manage now. You can do it through the client, the individual data fields. You can insert that way, or you can insert it directly from the merchant processing agreement itself, right from your browser. Okay? Transfers. We started down that road. We had a call, with Jenny and Lydia and Alan and a couple of their team members. We're excited to get started on that. We're actively in the process of doing TSYS. So TSYS boarding. We have the residual parser that they drop a residual. We parse it for them, and as far as Express XML as well. So we'll be able to board through TSYS. And I know a lot of users, CoCard users, have been asking about a merchant analyzer, right? So we've already developed the groundwork for that. We just need a couple. We have to confirm that the data we received is correct, but we're almost to starting the development process there, and we should, in a few months, should be QA'd and complete on that. So, and also Lydia's also helping us with that as well. So, we want to tailor the next session at 3 o'clock to whatever you guys need focus on. So we just don't want to assume that you need help on certain aspects of the system. Is there particular modules or certain feature sets that you would like us to do a deep dive into? Anyone?
PDF Halo? Yes.
We can show you that. It's an alpha, but yes, we're excited. It's actually on live, but we're still doing the final QA and test. We're actually planning on releasing the first tokenized email link on Tuesday, where you have we'll show that in a few, where you have the ability to send out from the clients module to, let's say you want to break up your complex merchant processing agreement to data gathering forms. You can send a piece of that data gathering to your merchant, such as they know their owner information, their banking account number. So you send that over to them, they can fill it out, and it populates the database. Now you can go in and you can do the fees, complete the rest of the agreement, you can send it over for e-signature probably within 5 minutes. Yes.
Is it possible just to use the boarding module to set up a dummy merchant account for us and show us the steps involved?
Sure.
First out Omaha or T-System.
Sure, absolutely. Get with me after and then we can set that up.
So the residual piece of it, if we're working with other vendors, can we take their reports and import them into Pegasus and then do the separation and the agent can see their portion?
If you're using other processors outside of...
vendors, like a Cabbage or something like that.
Yeah, but they have to be able to process it on the corporate level first. They have to have a corporate. Yeah.
So the answer to that is
Not right now?
not right now because everything is done on Ginny and William's side.
Okay.
So, and the way Pegasus is structured is that each office is on silo that is separate from every other office. So that's the aspect there. Yes.
Can we take our residuals and repopulate them as total counts inside the system? So in other words, we have all of the names of all of our residual merchants that we're getting paid on monthly. How do we take those and put them into as full merchant information?
You can use the import tool.
Well, you're wanting to take the information from all of your MIDs and put them like in one file, although they're separated
Into a merchant
by...
file so that we can also have all total information about every merchant.
Yes, right
Not
now
just
they're
the
all
name of the
separated
merchant.
by processor.
Remember, you just take some questions for the, so
Yeah.
write that down and we'll go over that in brief.
Okay. Any other questions that you want us to tackle during the training session?
How do you say now you use tabs, since I haven't used it at all, you know?
We'll show you that.
Yeah.
So, okay, yep.
And I think that the CRM tool, earlier today in our sales session, there are some people in here, maybe we were talking about Salesforce.com and having that sales tool, that contact management system availability in there too would probably be something you want to cover.
Right. Absolutely. Okay.
Great, guys.